Please speak the code into the receiver.
Stanley is mute. What do you want from me? The Stanley Parable has been re-released, or remastered, or reimagined, whatever you want to call it. 8 years ago I watched Jacksepticeye and a bunch of other YouTubers play this game. And I thought it was so cool and such a cool concept and idea for a game. And I wanted to play it. But I didn't have a laptop that could run it, or the money to buy a cool laptop that could run it. Well, fast forward to today, and well, that's changed. So without further ado, let's play the game. Check it out, because it's been redone, kinda. They released a new version of it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley enjoyed
And
his
then
very
one day,
mundane
something
life.
very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, we're in the game. Okay, so we're in the game. And I can move around. Cool. What are you doing here, Stanley? Can you zoom in? Or if I can, I don't know how. I click on things. Okay, that's just... What's that? I hate Mondays. I'm not particularly opposed to Mondays, to be honest.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The door closed by
Stanley decided
itself.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so I guess we're going to the meeting room.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Is that your way of saying that I should just carry on? Oh, this one's on. Serene access, and I can turn it off. Cool.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left. It's a game about choices, right? You can do whatever you want. But I'm just gonna do what the narrator tells me to do.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Who's closing all these doors behind me? Oh, it's locked. Awesome. Can I open the broom closet? I can.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Better not pick anything up. I guess not.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This is a cool office.
Stepping
Huge,
into his
though.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held
No,
from
what
him?
I'm wondering is why
What
he has
could
so
not
many
have
books, and
known
how does
was
he
that the
actually
keypad
get to all
behind the
those
boss's
books?
desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
This
And
keypad?
so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Thank you so
But
much.
of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I did it wrong, didn't I? Yep. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct
That's
code
an interesting
by sheer
security
luck.
system.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
A secret passage. I'm acting surprised, but so far there's nothing new about this. Except for the creepy atmosphere. I don't remember the first game being this creepy. Let me just apologize for the
Descending
incredibly
deeper into the building,
pale face
Stanley
cam.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Wait. For a second there I had
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
Anyway.
large door that read Mind Control Facility.
or I could go to the escape route. Let's just go here first. We press the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
This room kind
What
of looks
horrible
like
secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
the room from
Did he have the
X-Men.
strength to
You
find
know,
out?
the place where Professor Xavier has his like cerebro thing, whatever it's called. Oh, button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true
Fired.
nature revealed. Each bore the
Fired.
number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
How could you work at a company like this for years and not notice a room like this? Like, seriously.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
No. They wouldn't just
No.
manipulate you
He
like that.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
Was it?
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I suppose. Is that so wrong, though?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So I guess I could disable it forever. Or I could power it on. Go for the chaotic ending. Well, you know what? Let's set Stanley free. What happens now?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Maybe.
had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Yes,
Where
we'll,
had
we'll
his
do all
co-workers
those.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him
That's a
where to
nice
go,
house. Or a
what to
barn.
do, or how to feel.
Ooh.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
So this is the good
It
ending,
was
right?
perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin. The
So I'm free
feeling
now.
of liberation. The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, we don't know if he's happy. He hasn't even said a word. To be fair, this was the narrator's ending, not Stanley's ending. It's what the narrator wanted, right? Okay, right back here. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, we're not going to the meeting room. Go to the right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Or I could not. What if I just went straight into the warehouse?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hey, why are you being mean? I'm just doing my thing.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Who's that?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oh, do we have a wife?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside.
Wait, there's a black void.
Back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh god.
That's her, Stanley.
This is
You
terrifying.
need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Can I
If
just
you
let
can
it ring?
truly place your faith in another. Oh no!
Oh,
no,
I can
you
disconnect the
Did you
phone.
just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No,
I've managed to
definitely
confuse the
clear as day.
narrator.
Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another.
I could
Music
have-
comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
That
Not picking
that
up the
sounds
phone
nice.
is
Can I
actually
plug it
somehow
back
an
in?
incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
No.
None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices?
Wait, I want to pick up the phone now.
Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
What?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Am I?
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong
Oh, he's
choices,
breaking
you might
the
have
fourth
negated
wall.
it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the
What do you mean
severity of the
safety
situation?
protocol? I just-
Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Ah, yes, of course. Please take your
this
time.
helpful instructional video.
My hands are off the controls.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example,
Fair enough.
in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a
Rupert.
choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find
Ish.
yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My good...
Excellent. Making choices on
That
a
was not
regular
enough time.
basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
That's
Do you
it?
make more than 8? Less? And finally,
Sure
if you
more.
begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the
Thank you.
feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back.
Oh,
you may have
okay.
noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But
Mm-hmm.
not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few
Wait,
minutes ago.
can we
and see what
pause?
the
Can we
correct
pause?
thing
Like,
to do
time
would
out,
be.
time out.
This way, please.
Why are there forklifts in this room now? Why are there 4 of them stacked on top of each other? 5! It was phasing through the wall. Well, I did say the word that's deteriorating. Can I just have my wife, please? This is... You literally pulled me out of reality. You broke the 4th wall just to insult me and tell me that I apparently... Who's closing these doors? That's what I want to know.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and
Wait, the other
dying.
guy said they're
Imagine the main
insignificant.
character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately,
Can I make it
seems
worse?
this
Can I
place
jump?
is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. What's this? I need a keycard, huh? You're funneling me into a certain way, and I want to... Stop closing the doors behind me. It's creepy.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
I'm already in the real world.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No thanks.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Reality really is being deteriorated. It's fun. You wanna give me the line again? Come on, give me the line. Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He chose the door on his left. What happens if I go through again? Okay, so I literally have to go to the left. Okay, fine, fair enough. Oh,
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you
joy.
think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage?
Do not
It's
alter
worthless
without
now.
consulting
And what am I
Whiteboard
supposed to
Manager.
do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do?
Using slides is okay.
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
No, we can keep going. Oh. What the? Is Stanley actually free? I don't think Stanley is a free man. If you can just control his reality like this, then he's...
Oh, I'm here.
What
I'm
happened?
Still here in this pile of rubbish. With you.
Yeah.
You.
You tried to
thought you were
kill
so
me.
Clever. Now look where we are. My entire
Hey,
game is destroyed.
you brought this on
It was the only
yourself.
thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to
Yes,
see?
actually.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He
Well,
actually
Stanley
knows how to
is
do
a
what
sheep.
I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story.
Oh, poor you, your
If you'd just
story.
gone through the door
I'm
on the
in
left, you would
I'm
have
in,
seen it.
what,
There was
where
a
am
whole
I?
underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect.
I
worked
already
hard
saw
on
the
it.
perfect
I tried
ending.
so hard to make
What happened now?
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should I do it? I could just go to the right again.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How badly can I break this game?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley
Okay, now
would.
we're looping.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
quite sure you'll be up to the task.
I'll
Just
go
follow
to the
my lead
right,
and you'll be
I mean
fine.
left.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
He
entered the door
chose
on
the
his
door on
left.
his left. Fine.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay, looks
Feeling a
fairly
wave of
normal.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What if I go
Coming
down?
to a
I
staircase,
can't.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What's in here? I can't open that door. Oh, the office is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
What is
Shocked,
this?
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode.
What
He had
passcode?
seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
You
He
talk a
drew
lot,
sharp
my guy.
breath and then spoke the code.
Okay, let's see. Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
Night Shark
He spoke it into the receiver.
115.
Right
Yeah,
there
I
on
don't
the
know what you
wall.
want from me, my guy. I mean, what's this? Was the bookshelf always
I'm
tilted?
sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver.
I'm
Otherwise,
trying.
we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Stanley is mute. What do you want from me?
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
Yeah, can't you
I've
just
asked you
open
for
the
this
door
one
for
single
me?
thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you
Stanley
didn't
is
want
in
to see what I
mute.
had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever
I
the
tried
hell
that.
you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak.
You
Say something
forced me to.
Explain yourself, you
I'm
coward.
trying. You not.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door
Oh.
on his left.
What is this? This is like some.
Stanley? Hello?
What's that movie called? The one where he's in the fifth dimension with
Stanley, please.
Matthew
I
McConaughey.
need you to make a
Was like
choice.
behind the end.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Is everything all right? Stanley, this
Scroll,
is
scroll,
important.
scroll.
The story needs you. It needs
I
you
think
to make
Stanley's in a
decision.
coma.
It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot.
Am I the disembodied narrator now?
I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
I can't do anything.
Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it.
Oh man, I feel so sorry for you.
Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
Yeah,
You
you
need time to decide.
don't worry.
Time
You'll
to
be
make
fine.
sure
You'll be
your choice
fine.
is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Can I walk off? No. The end is never. The end is never. The end is loading. Okay. What do you guys say? One more run?
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
Nope,
office. Coming
we're
to a
going
staircase,
downstairs.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this is kind of scary.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought
I'm
to
going in
himself,
circles.
maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
I'm either
And as
going in
Stanley pondered this,
circles.
he began to make other strange observations.
AB 1112.
For example,
Okay.
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Yeah, I
And
would
for
love
that
to know
matter,
that actually.
These rooms were starting to
AB
look pretty
1112.
familiar.
Yeah,
Were they
I'm
simply
going in circles.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is
No.
all a dream.
No.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real life.
Do I
without
have to
pushing
keep
buttons.
going in circles,
I
or
may
will you
as well
just...
enjoy this while I'm still lucid?
What
So,
am I missing here?
he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, I'm flying now.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley
So,
marveled that he had
the
still not
narrator
woken
is
up.
basically
How
God.
was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Because
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
is this my car?
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain beyond a
Mate,
doubt
you're,
that this
you're
was
kinda
in fact
boring
a
me.
dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it.
This
He
is
would
the
prove
worst
that he was
existential
in
crisis
control,
I've
that
ever
this
witnessed.
was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Okay.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this
That
one.
sounds nice.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
Apparently
Everything will be
not.
fine. I am okay.
Are you though? Nope, we're still back in the office.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear
Stanley
my
is
voice?
about to
Who
freak
am
out.
I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay. So what now? Is that
This
it?
is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Funnily enough, I
Mariella
work
woke
with
up on a
a
day like any other.
Mariella.
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day,
So Stanley
her walk
dies?
was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself.
Okay,
then
so he was
collapsed dead
crazy.
on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
This narrator
Then she remembered the meeting
is
she had
legit
scheduled for that day.
giving
The
me
very
a
important
headache.
people whose impressions of her would affect her career.
He
and
never
by
shuts
extension,
up.
The rest of her life. She had no time for this.
No wonder
So it
Stanley
was
went
only a
crazy. I mean,
moment when
seriously,
she stood
hearing
there,
this voice in your
staring
head
down at the body.
24/7,
And
yeah.
then she turned and ran.
The end is never the end. The end is never the end. The end. Oh my god.
What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Oh, finally. God.
Yes.
Shut up!
Really worth it being here in the room.
I'm
room
trying to
so
get
utterly
a moment
captivating that
of
even though
peace
all your co-workers
and
have mysteriously
quiet.
vanished,
Do you
here's
mind?
looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yes. As long as you don't talk. It is worth it. Guys, I'm gonna leave the episode
At
there.
this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy.
Okay. That's enough for me. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave it off there, cause I'm tired. And I mean, I got my enjoyment out of that. 30 or so minutes of hearing a narrator nag me into doing things. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.